Hello, beautiful readers. Welcome to yet another glorious installment of your Distance Learning Academy. Let's go learn. Today, we will be taking a close look at the last words of a story. Please listen to the story Chasing a Deer on StudySync and then continue this lesson. Today, we're going to think about the last lines of a story. The last page of a book is always the best. It feels good to finish, it completes the story, and often it is a great place to look for clues to a possible theme. We're going to practice rereading the last page or paragraph. Then we're going to think about what the author leaves you to think about. The end of the book is often where the author wraps it all up. All the problems get resolved, we find out what happens with the character, and we can also, if we're really paying attention, find the lesson in the last words. Sometimes it's the narrator, sometimes it's the character, but often somebody says something that helps us think about what the whole story is about. For example, in Chasing a Deer, the story ends with the dad inviting Francis out on his next adventure. Now, I can be the kind of reader who doesn't just breeze past these last words, but stops to think if they are holding a lesson. What's happening here is that Francis had to prove himself capable of more responsibility. His dad noticed that he did his job of keeping deer out of the garden, even when he didn't want to. Now he says, "You can come with me to cut down trees." What this teaches me is that sometimes we have to do things that we don't really want to prove that we are responsible or mature. Here are some helpful steps for thinking deeper about the last page or paragraph of a book. First, reread the final words. Does the narrator lead you into a lesson? Then, think. What was the last thought you had after reading it? Finally, try and say your thinking as a lesson. You could start with the sentence stem, "I learned." As always, be sure that you try today's strategy out while you're reading your book. Mix it in with all the other strategies that you have learned to really keep your thinking brain active during your reading time. Please be sure to complete the ticket to leave. It's how I'm keeping track of your progress and also how I'm marking attendance during our distance learning. I'll see you next week.